So we spoke about the showing and not telling, and something that goes hand in hand with showing are the verbs and the importance of diction. Diction is your word choice. And so when we look at the telling portion at the top here, I'm going to read off some of the verbs that are used. All the kids knew, Lucinda was, she was prissy, she wore bows, she thought, she would, she scared me, I wasn't, I knew, I played, they weren't, I was, I could hardly face, she made. So all of those wases are really a to be verb, which is the ser verb in Spanish. It's the verb is, are, was, were, have, had, and I have a handout that you guys can see all the to be verbs and other verbs that you want to take place of it. So if we look at the second one, the showing, you can see in the specific moment, her verbs are action words. Says she saw, she stopped, her ponytail bobbed, her eyes tracked me, it rang. And especially her eyes tracked me, as soon as I hear that, I almost think it's like a gun with like the little crosshairs, like she's looking, just like looking for prey. So that's what we want to do with our words. We want to think about words in a way that's a bit different. So on the back, you can see it says vivid verbs, and it gives you some verbs that are used there. And those verbs you are going to want to replace with vivid verbs. So the first one says, Philip said, I love you, Elizabeth, really. Now we can replace said with exclaimed, okay? Says, yes, but we want to use words like screamed, he pronounced, he whispered, he yelled, he spat, he argued. Maybe we say things like Philip moaned. See, what happens is when we change that one word, we give a whole plethora of what's happening around that word, because if Philip is moaning to Elizabeth, they're in a very kind of intimate spot. If Philip is whispering, they're very close. If he's screaming, either he's upset or they're fighting, it sets a whole scene. And so I want you to try with these vivid verbs to replace these verbs with active verbs. And you can look at the list of powerful verbs that I gave you, and also watch the video about Muffy, which explains the verbs in kind of a fun way. So hopefully we'll start using diction and specifically our verbs to make our writing more lively and to show instead of tell our readers.